Why is the written driving test so hard?
Alright, so update. I failed my test in 2 minutes.
They don't have no new appointments for the next 2 months. This is a whole waste of fucking time. Like,
I ain't gonna lie, I was hurt, but you can't keep a gangster down, bitch.
Why are so many people suddenly failing the DMV test in 2026? For many new dudes and drivers, passing the test becoming harder than ever. So many people are shocked. What changed? If you are one of those people, let me know down below the comment. Did you pass your test or what? Or did you do it 3 times? I did 1 and pass. Make sure you subscribe and comment. Let's watch this video.
What happened, dude? It's not funny, bro. I wanted to pass. Bro.
Alright, so update. I failed my test in 2 minutes. I backed out the parking lot. Apparently, I can't use my back camera. And I checked an extra blind spot, which I was turning to the right, and I didn't need to look to my left. But I did look to my right, and I automatically got failed. And she said, just pull back into the parking lot. And I didn't know. I was like, dude, I didn't even start driving yet. And she said, yeah, go back into the DMV. And I just failed my test in like a record time of 2 minutes, yo.
Here are the top 10 states who fail their driver's permit tests most often. At number 10 is Tennessee. At number 9 is Maryland. At number 8 is Alabama. At number 7 is California. At number 6 is Illinois. At number 5 is Pennsylvania. At number 4 is Florida. At number 3 is Arizona. At number 2 is Mississippi. And at number 1, the state who fails their driver's permit test most often, Missouri.
Guess who failed the knowledge test? Yeah, me. And I'm not even gonna lie, that one humbled me real quick. I really thought I had it. But looking back, that first try wasn't my turn. God knew I needed to slow down and come back even better. So today I went back, same test, same pressure, but this time I took my time, read every question and stayed calm. And when I tell you I passed in flying colors. In less than 14 minutes, didn't even finish all 50 questions. The test had me at 42 and I only got 1 wrong. So yeah, that felt so good. I couldn't even stop smiling. Moral of the story, failing once doesn't mean you can't win. Sometimes you just need a second try and just trust God timing.
I ain't gonna lie, I was hurt, but you can't keep a gangster down, bitch. You can't keep a gangster down.
I was always confused on the idea of studying for a permit test until it was time for me to get my permit. And then I realized they put the most random questions on there ever. I failed my first permit test. I failed the first time. I walked in, first question, what's the top speed of a school bus? Now, why the hell do I need to know the top speed of a school bus? Second question is, how far back do you need to stay from a car? Now, driving with other people, I thought, I don't know, 50 feet? It was like 300 or 200 or something. Ain't nobody does that, bro. Nobody stays that far. People sit on your butt, and you just got to brake check them. Like, permit test, waste of freaking time. It did teach me, though, you can turn right on the red, so that's pretty cool, I guess.
this has been a complete waste of time. Because I don't have a printed W-2, so I brought my tax form and I brought a mail with my name and address, and I showed her and she said, we don't take that, the mail. So I'm like, okay, I have my tax form. She said, we don't take that. I'm trying to show her it has my name, social security, and address. She's like, oh, we don't take that, you have a W-2. I'm like, I could show you on my phone. And she hands me back all my stuff and she's like, no, we don't take that. You're gonna have to make a new appointment and come back. They don't have no new appointments for the next 2 months. This is a whole waste of fucking time. Like, I'm about to go ask her if I could have it printed somewhere in the mall and come back, because I'm not trying to wait until fucking August. I wanted to get this shit done before my birthday. Like, it's fucking bullshit. I'm not ruining my makeup too. Like,
Okay, why is the written driving test so hard? Took the driving test, the written test, failed it. So the people at the DMV were so nice. They were like, we don't usually do this, but we'll let you take it again. Instead of you having to come back to take it, we're sure you're gonna pass. Took the test again? Bitch, don't you know I failed that shit? So now I actually have to go back tomorrow, take it a 3rd time, and that will be my final chance to take it. Tell me if I'm crazy or if the questions are not ridiculous. Here's an actual question on the test. What way do you turn the steering wheel when you are parking on a hill? I grew up at the Jersey Shore, like the flattest terrain ever. I don't know shit about a hill. Out of my 12 years of driving, the scenarios on this test have never happened to me ever. But they change the questions up every time you take the test. So it's not something you can study for. And I tried to cheat. Literally got yelled at like I was in high school. The girl came up behind me and she was like, please put your phone in your purse. There is no possible way that I passed this test in high school. I must have cheated or they changed the fucking test. Does anyone have the cheat code to the California driving test? Because I will literally pay you for it. I don't know what I'm gonna do if I fail this shit tomorrow. Help me.
This student is saying that the examiner fell him the test because he hit the curb when he was doing his parallel parking. Then I tell him to park the car again and come outside and show me what do you mean by hitting the curb. Now, when we come outside, guys, let's check this together here. Let me come down a little closer. Okay, is this hitting the curb? No, this is driving over the curb. Once you do that at the test, you will fail the test. All right, I want to make sure we get this straight. There is a different approach of hitting the curve and driving over the curve. If you drive over the curve while you're doing your DMV road test, they will fail you the test. However, if you just tip the curve doing your parking, you are 110% will pass the test. Just like the front tire here, that's over the curve. That's not hitting the curve, okay? Like, share, and subscribe. Until then, keep practicing. This has been here with People Driving School. Take care.
I just got back from the DMV. In California, I didn't know this. If you go before 60 days, like 6 months, they tell you can go in and renew your driver's license 6 months. But if you go, you have to take the written test. And they didn't tell me that in May. So I went in there like, oh, wow, I'm early. I failed the test. So I went today. A little cocky. I'm like, you know what? I studied. I got this. You know what happened, right? I failed that test. So you only have one more try. I was like, ma'am, can I please take it today? I do not want to come back here. I was already there 2 hours. I was fuming. She's like, yeah, I'll put you right back on. 20 minutes later, I passed it. So I got my real ID renewed. But it was just like, what a stupid rule, right? If you're under 60 days, you don't need the test. But if you do it 6 months ahead of time, outside of those 60 days, you got to take the test. California, get it together.
I have to get a license in California because my old license was an Illinois license and it's expiring. And so I'm taking some sample tests to practice because I have to like do a written test to get the new license. And, you know, some of the questions are actually pretty tricky, but some of them are like just so ridiculously dumb, similar to those, you know, sexual harassment questions with that corporations make you take when you work there. But just listen to this question. What is one of the most common causes of traffic collisions? Get ready, this is tricky. A, paying attention to your surroundings. B, better traffic flow. C, driver distractions. If anyone knows the answer, let me know.
How many times did it take you guys to pass the written driving test? Can you believe I went to the DMV 4 different times and failed all 4 times? Literally, I've almost been passing, but I keep failing at 5 questions. How is it that I'm 19 years old and I still don't even have a permit by now? Like, what the fuck? I don't know why it's so hard. Honestly, you guys, I'm very curious. How many times did it really take you to pass? Because it took my dad 7 times to pass the written driving test. That's too much, bro. There's no way in hell I'm going to be doing that 7 times. So I graduated 5 months ago, guys. And guess what my mom's gift to me was? A brand new car that I don't drive because I don't have my license. Like, why is it so difficult to pass? I don't understand. I'm literally trying. With that being said, if you have any tips to help me pass the test, please help a sister out. And don't say read the DMV book because I already read it and I still haven't passed. So please help a sister out.
This is me recording my time after doing my third behind the wheel test. I don't think I cried as much as I cried when I failed the second one. So after this third try, it told me I had to start over again. And normally, how the driving test is done, you just start with like a written test. Well, not like written test. Just go to computer and just pick answers. I think there are like 20 of them. I can't really remember. I have to go and do it all over again. And I'm even okay. So I'm actually happy that at least I went beyond the part where the person testing me took me the last time, and I went all around. The person picked out a few things, and I was like, oh, can you point out the places where you think I did this and did this? And she was being very mean. I don't know why she was like that, but I think she was actually mean. And I keep thinking that like they should be able to rotate people doing this test, not the same person, because I don't know if she has like a thought about me from the first, second, and third. And the thing is, I started learning how to drive when I was pregnant. I just started learning, and I think I took the first test after I gave birth. No, I think when I was pregnant, then the second test after I gave birth, and the third one is now. I'm just so sad. I have to read the handbook all over again. After she told me that I'll come over again, I went inside to ask that. Oh my god, I picked the wrong book. Can you imagine? I picked the wrong book. I think it's because I was just like not happy with myself. I picked Spanish. I think I have to go over again. I have to go there again to pick the English version. Well, I'm making this video because I want to promise myself that once I do this written test again, at the first try, I'm going to get it. And this will be very soon. That's why I picked this manual, and I'm just so sad I took the Spanish version. So I'll be coming back to tell you I got my license. But like, it's just so disappointing. After I tried, I prayed that like this will be my last try for this behind the wheel driving test. I don't know if anybody's in this same position with me. I don't know. I had to tell my husband to just leave me in the car. I just need to like some alone time to myself. Okay, next time will be when I've gotten it.